expert review, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. When it comes to this $85 million movie, some important questions you should be asking yourself are, who gave this 11th grader a $30,000 car? Or why is no one guarding this housing development? Or better yet, do cops not exist in Japan? But instead, you should be asking yourself just how hard you should stomp on your pedals in order to enter the Matrix.
Wonder if you know.
Martha's in trouble, dude.
Martha's in trouble, dude.
Yes.
I got this.
Tokyo! Hey, hey, hey.
Tokyo.
For those of us who haven't watched Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift yet, you need a quick overview. So to sum everything up, a troubled ladies man who has habit of bad driving gets kicked out of his high school and then kicked out of USA and has to go live with his dad in Japan. In Japan, he joins a Japanese drifting group without knowing how to drift, and of course crashes cars and racks up $1,000 of damage. He has to pay off his debt and of course win the heart of a troubled Princess Peach, so he learns how to drift properly after destroying many cars. His dad then gives him a car to build, and he goes up against the main antagonist and wins the drift battle despite the antagonist trying to cheat. Now with the main plot out of the way, you'd be able to understand this movie a whole lot better. Overall, there's a lot of holes in this movie and a lot of things that just don't make sense, but it got me in the cars. It got all of us in the cars. It was the start of an era where no one knew what cars really meant until they put their foot down and heard the But aside from my cringiness, cars brought us together, and Fast and Furious did a great job of doing this. It managed to show the family aspects around cars. It managed to show the criminal aspects as well as the money aspects around it. And it taught us that there's some things that are more important than just racing and going fast, but instead living life to the fullest. Not only did Fast and Furious do a great job of showing us that life should be lived to the fullest, but it also showed us that even if you're bad at something, you can always practice to become better and practice to even become the best. When it comes to Fast and Furious, they generally like to take an adventurous, criminal, money-making type of approach to things, but this movie is the Outlander and all of that. Instead of showing the money aspect of it and the best way to use a car to do this and pull off a heist and whatnot, it instead uses cars to try to empower someone to become better at a certain aspect of driving, or just improve themselves overall, because generally this main character had a lot of problems aside from his ladies man activities, but all of this would come together to make Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift one of the best Fast and Furious movies in the whole franchise, with it being rated at 4.6 stars on Rotten Tomato and it producing $62 million in profit. All in all, we can say that the Fast and Furious franchise has taught us one very important thing, and that's family.